Now what we need to do to make a three-dimensional part is that we need to start with a two-dimensional sketch. And what that two-dimensional sketch is going to do is it's going to kind of define the shape of the feature that we are wanting to make. And then once we make that two-dimensional sketch, then we're going to take that sketch and then we're going to do something to it. Now there's a few different features that we're going to use. There's a variety of them. There's a lot of them in Inventor, but I'm going to just go over just a couple of the basic ones, and you'll probably use those the majority of the time anyway. So, but I want you to get familiar with it and comfortable using it. Then you can just explore all these different other features kind of at your leisure, if you will. So let's start with looking at how do we create a sketch. Well, the nice thing is when we come up by default, we're on the three-dimensional model screen or the tab here, and it says Start 2D Sketch. And that's what we're going to want to do right away. That's going to be the first thing that we can do. So we can click on Start 2D Sketch. Now, I will give you a heads up that there is a down arrow here, and if you click on that down arrow, there is a 3D sketch. I don't want you to be doing a 3D sketch at this time. I only want you to do the 2D sketch. So we can click on 2D Sketch, or we can just click on this icon, and that's where I would recommend that you guys do. Just click on the icon up here. Don't even get mixed up with the down arrow. Once you do that, it's going to, Inventor is going to bring up these planes. Now these are actually the planes that are listed over here in the feature tree. And if we look at it, there's really a front plane, a side plane, and a top plane. And when we start making our parts, we want to start thinking about our front plane, top plane, and side plane. And actually, if you can see the square, it says front, right, and top on it too. So right being the right side plane there. So if we can start thinking about making our parts so that it's orientated in the same orientation as Inventor thinks it's going to be. So our front view is going to be kind of aligned with our front plane, and our side view is going to be aligned with our side plane, and our top view is going to be aligned with our top plane. It makes it a little bit easier later on when we start making drawings and other things like that. So not critical at all, but if you do, it just makes things a little bit easier for you. So just know about that. So let's go through, and I'm just going to make a very simple sketch here. So I'm just going to click on the front plane or the XY plane. Now, when I click on the XY plane, you'll notice that the screen kind of rotates around. We've gone now from a three-dimensional mode, which is what we were in just previously. And once we started our sketch, we are now in two-dimensional mode. We can only make two-dimensional sketches, and that two-dimensional sketch can only occur on that XY plane that we selected. So that's how we can kind of tell we're in this 2D mode. Now there's a couple other ways that we can tell that we're in the sketch mode. In the one way is we can take a look up here and we see this finish sketch check mark. Well, if that finish sketch check mark is there, that means we are in a sketch and we are sketching. So, and what happens is when we went into our sketch, it automatically went to our sketch tab and it brought up all of our sketch options here. Now, what I'm going to do is what I want to talk about is some of these different things. Now, I'm going to talk about some of our tools. These are our sketch tools here. There's some other ones that we may get into over here. I want to talk about dimensions, and then we're going to talk about these constraints also. But what I want to start off with is actually just the fundamentals. And here we've got a line, a circle, an arc, a rectangle. For the most part, you're going to be using lines and rectangles and circles to start out with. Those are going to be our fundamental shapes. And again, with each one of these, there is a down arrow that will open up more options. Now, for the most part, take a look at it if you'd like, but I'm going to ask that you guys kind of stay with the line, the center circle, the two-point rectangle on here. Those are going to be the main things that we're going to do. So let's make a very simple part. We're going to just make a rectangle. So if I click on rectangle, we can see that now I have my cursor and it is giving me an XY position, and now I can hover over things. Now, if I hover over the center point here, it snaps to that and it puts a constraint in there, and we'll talk a little bit more about constraints later on. But I'm going to want to start at the center point here. So I'm going to click and release, and then actually I popped off of that, so I'm going to hit escape, and I'm going to try that again. So I'm going to hit rectangle, get over my center point, it turns green, click and release, and now I'm going to pull my rectangle up, and I'm going to click and release again, and I have my rectangle. Now you can see there's a couple things. One is we've got 2 blue lines, we've got 2 green lines. What does that mean? Well, the blue lines mean that those lines are defined or constrained so that they don't need any more information. Inventor doesn't need any more information to define those. But the green ones mean that there is some missing information. Inventors put them there, but we haven't fully defined what they are. So they're missing some stuff. And in this case, they're missing some dimensions. So that height and the width dimensions is what we're really missing. So we're going to talk about how do we change that later on. Now, I do want to cover a couple of the other tools. So that was the rectangle. We also have a line. So if we click on here, and let's say we wanted to add something on the top here, I'm going to click and release, click and release, click and release, and I make a line now here. And I'm going to make another one over here. So as I click and release here, it's going to continue to make this until I close this object up, and then it's going to complete it, and it's going to stop making a line. Or if I just want to add a couple lines, and now let's say I just want to add that, but it keeps asking me, it wants to put one more line in here, but I don't want to do that anymore. What I can do is I can just hit escape, and it'll stop making a line in there. So we can add lines that way too. Circles are very similar. We're just going to click on the circle, and we go to the center point. Now you'll see there's a couple things going on here, is that we're getting all these snap lines, so we can relate where we're going to put our circle with other points that are already out on the sketch plane here. So in this case, I'm just going to show you how to put a circle in. So I'm just going to click and release the center, drag it out, click, and now I have my circle. So that is another way that we can use those tools. So line, circle, rectangle, very easy to use, kind of the fundamental pieces that we're going to start with.